Hello, this is Greg from Bitcentral, and we are going to show you a training video that shows functions with the Precis system and the new active panel, which is new software from Bitcentral. This is going to be Precis with ENPS, and the scenario that we are going to cover right now has to do with adding stories that will require an editor to edit the video and attach it. And I'm just going to go through that in a couple seconds. But first, let me explain that these are new features to the Bitcentral system with the active panel, and the software versions that this applies to are Precis version 4.12, Oasis version 3.27, Create version 1.9, and the active panel or the Precis ActiveX plugin version 4.0. So let's go ahead and talk about this scenario real quick. What we're going to do here is more of the traditional workflow where you add a story to your rundown, you add a MOS ID to that story so that gives the editor a place to drop the finished video when they're completed editing, and we'll go through that and show you how you can see that the edited video has been attached, you can view it, and so on. So I've got a rundown here. I'm going to go ahead and add a new story, and I'm going to title this story New Care Facility. We'll go ahead and say that this is a VO. And to create the MOS ID, also known as a video placeholder, we're going to the Object Placeholder Create field in the the ENPS rundown. Select the Precis placeholder object. There may be multiple MOS objects in your system. For example, in addition to the video playout MOS IDs, you may have IDs for your lower thirds, and so on. So you need to check the right placeholder. So there we've added our placeholder to our story, and you can see that the MOS status indicates that there's no video attached, and that's why it says not ready. Now in this scenario, we're assuming that we're adding a video placeholder for somebody who is going to actually do some editing and attach the video from the editor. So to simulate that, I am going to the Bitcentral Create web-based editor, and I already have the sequence that I put together for this story. So I'm not going to take you through the editing portion of that. I'm just showing you that there is something that has been edited for this story. The way we go about attaching the video from any editor is very similar. We select the output function. In this case, Create has that labeled as output. Other editors such as Edius and Premiere have different functions for exporting the video to the story. But basically the scenario is the same, is when we say we're outputting to a rundown, we will see a list of rundowns, and I'm using the evening news rundown in my demo system here. I then, when I've chosen the rundown, will see the stories in the rundown, and those stories are the ones that have MOS IDs, whether they're filled placeholders or empty placeholders. Here's my story that I just created, and to output that, then to complete this operation, I simply click on the output button, and in the background now the Create system is conforming that video and making it ready for the Precis playout system and sending it to the system all in one operation. So that is being completed in the background, and what we will see here when we check back into ENPS is once the video has been conformed and sent to the playout system, we'll see the status change. It is now gone to linked status, meaning it is now ready to play on the air. And so it's linked, and that part of the process is completed. Okay. Now, when you have video attached to a story, if you open that story script, you will see the MOS ID. You will see the name of the video file that's in the playout system. And it takes a little while for the proxy to be created. It's probably created by now. So if I click on that, it says that it's still processing. It will update in just a second here. I'll go to another story so we can see that. And when I click on the story, it will show me the proxy of that video that's in the playout system ready to play. And so without leaving iNews, we can see the video that's going to play on the air. We can see the status of the story, that the video is ready in the playout system, and we can preview it after the proxy's been created, and you can see that just took a few seconds longer to create that proxy, so we can now play it and view it in the active panel of the Bitcentral system. So that is all for this session. Thank you for choosing Bitcentral.